This is Darshana Gauchan with your B2B Cambodia Market update for August 19th, 2025. The Cambodia Securities Exchange Index was up by 0.36 points or 0.09% and closed at 405.34. Total trade volume was up with 64,313 shares changing hands at a total value of 376.9 million real or over $94,000. On the main board, 5 stocks were up. Leading the market was Pestec Cambodia, up 2.30% or 60 real to 2,670 real per share, followed by Cam GSM, which rose 0.41% or 10 real to 2,440 real per share. Other stocks also up were Phnom Penh Water Supply Authority, Grand Twins International, and Phnom Penh Autonomous Port. On the downside, Sihanoukville Autonomous Port was the biggest loser of the day, down 0.83% or 100 real to 12,020 real per share, followed by Akleda Bank, which dropped 0.29% or 20 real to 6,840 real per share. Meanwhile, MJQ Education and Royal Group Phnom Penh SEZ stayed flat. Over on the growth board, both stocks remained flat. JS Land stayed flat at 2,780 real per share, while DVD Engineering remained at 2,000 real per share. Akleda Bank recorded the highest trade volume of the day with 10,714 shares changing hands at a total value of 73 million real or over $18,000, approximately 17% of Tuesday's trade volume. MJQ Education recorded the second highest trade volume of the day with 5,106 shares changing hands at a total value of 10 million real or over $2,500, about 8% of August 19th's trade volume. Meanwhile, in transactions made via the negotiated trading method, Grand Twins International saw 260 million real or over $65,000 worth of shares traded. In other market news, Sihanoukville Autonomous Port released a disclosure notice announcing the company's total revenue in the second quarter of 2025 increased by 28.65% to 147.3 billion real or over $36.8 million. The company's operating profit also increased by 31.16%, while net profit decreased by 53.03% compared to the same quarter in 2024. Sihanoukville Autonomous Port said the main reason for the increase in revenue and operating profit was due to the increase of containers and cargo throughput. However, there was an increase of unrealized foreign exchange losses from the Japanese yen, which led to decrease in net profit. Moving on to the exchange rate, the Khmer Real to USD weakened slightly to 4,008 real per US dollar, while the US dollar index was slightly up to 97.98. Looking at global commodities, oil prices fell on Tuesday as traders weighed the possibility that talks between Russia, Ukraine, and the US to end the war in Ukraine could lead to the lifting of sanctions on Russian crude, raising supply. Brent crude futures fell 48 cents or 0.72% to $66.12 a barrel. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures for September delivery set to expire on Wednesday fell 40 cents or 0.63% to $63.02 per barrel. Gold prices rose, buoyed by lower Treasury yields and a weaker dollar amid prospects of lower U.S. interest rates, while investors look ahead to the U.S. Federal Reserve Chair's speech at Jackson Hole later this week. Spot gold was up 0.4% at $3,341.89 per ounce. U.S. gold futures for December delivery rose 0.3% to $3,386.60. Stock futures ticked lower Tuesday as new earnings from major retailers began to roll in, while traders looked ahead to a key speech from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell later in the week. As of the time of the Cambodian market's closing, futures on the Dow Jones Industrial Average were down 27 points or 0.1%, S&P 500 futures and Nasdaq 100 futures were down 0.1% each. This was Darshana Gauchan with your B2B Cambodia Market update for August 19th.